We might not have it completely together. You were there a second ago.
Again,
There you go. You back.
what up, people? We back. Another week of mishaps, but you know what? Hey, it is what it is. We gonna get it together at some point.
Yeah.
But you know what it is. I'm Rodney. This Jay. What's going on, bro?
Hey, nothing much. It's draft time, so you and I had quite a few drafts over the weekend.
Man, I
We'll
tell
give
you.
you guys the rundown on how all that went. In fact, we got a couple of pictures to show you. So we've talked about these drafts before, and they're kind of a little bit crazy compared to your regular fantasy football because these are big quarterback leagues, so quarterback yards go for a lot, rushing not as much. So if you look at the draft board, you'll see it dominated mostly in the top two rounds by quarterbacks. In fact, this was a different kind of year where in one of the drafts, the first four people, yourself included,
I did.
Quarterback the first three rounds.
I did.
What were your thinking there?
Well, you know, when you draft now, I have a different strategy.
Okay.
Normally, I would go tight end, like big tight ends most years, but I kind of stayed away from that this year. So I kind of went in a different direction. But the thing is, I was drafted in the front, so that little run of quarterbacks, and the thing is, if you want to be truly honest, that back end of 21 to like 32 quarterbacks, it get real slim pickings after a while. So I was like, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get it because I was picking third. So I said, I'm gonna go get my quarterback now, and then I start my draft in the fourth round. But which is crazy though, I actually had a good draft starting from that point, and I still got people that I wanted. So I wasn't too upset about it, honestly. So I was good. I think now would I do it again? I don't know about that, but I felt like that was the right time to do it. But it's unusually I don't do that though, for real.
Right.
So.
Well, we'll see how it works for you guys. I hope you nothing but failure, just between you and me.
I mean, I know it's all good, you know.
But
I'm not mad at that.
Quite frequently on that show, we talk about the Women's Fantasy Football League, and they just hit their draft like it started less than 2 hours ago. So our producer is with us. What are your thoughts on how that went?
Like it goes everywhere. It goes really fast. I never have any feelings about anything. I didn't fully do a no plan. Not fully. It was I'll call it. It was a plan with no detail plan.
Gotcha.
It's hard to do a no plan because once you've drafted for so long, you kind of know stuff, and it's like, wait, if I go with the next available, because that would definitely be the no plan. Your personal feelings start going in like, ugh, I don't like them, or ugh, I don't like this team, or ugh, why did I do that? So it's kind of hard to do a real no plan. That only works for me in hockey because I have absolutely no idea about anybody in that.
Yeah.
So.
What was the oddest thing that you saw in that draft?
Why are you?
No names.
Why are you making me say? You're making me say it. Oh my gosh.
Hey, it's your league. You're the commissioner.
Oh, I don't like you, but it's okay. So apparently, a kicker was the second pick.
Well, not overall.
A kicker.
In the somebody's second round pick.
Yeah, it was a kicker that was taken really early, so...
I'm hoping accidentally.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Was he a good kicker?
Mediocre.
It wasn't Aubrey.
No.
No.
They skipped over a few kickers to grab this one.
Quite a few kickers.
Yeah.
Little?
No.
Keep going down the list. I told you. They skipped
It's
over.
that bad? Little is probably the best kicker out there outside of Aubrey.
It was
okay, you're
kicker.
thinking of best kickers.
Yeah.
Keep going down the list.
You got to skip down.
I don't draft kickers that early, so I can't tell you. I don't know. But
well, the point is, look, forget who it was. The point is, the kicker went way early. That kind of threw me a little bit. Like, wait,
Yeah.
I know this name.
I think
That's
it threw
a
the
kicker.
person too. I think they had some sort of technical difficulty in how that went. By the way, some of the women are chiming in. Orlena Lewis, welcome to the show. Anita Bracy, welcome as well. I think they were a bit surprised because they commented afterwards, and it was like, okay. I remember in a fraternity league I'm in, this was somebody's first pick, and I can't remember whether they had the number 1 overall pick, but they were like definitely in the top like 5. They went Patrick Willis, a defensive player, for the number 1 pick.
Wait a minute.
They tried to blame it on we were playing on Yahoo at the time. They tried to say Yahoo auto-picked that for him. I was like, there's no possible way in the world Patrick Willis is up in your auto-pick unless you had him in your K and you messed that up. But there's some weird things. You remember in the SMFL league, somebody picked their defense for their number 1 pick one year. So some crazy things will happen, sometimes intentionally, sometimes not. But the women, they did their thing, so it's going to be interesting. This is their 4th year. So.
Yeah, this is year 4, and I don't, ESPN picked the people in the order they were picked. So the new person got the first pick. That wasn't me. That was ESPN. So if you're going to be mad at anybody, be mad at their system.
Yeah,
Y'all didn't go to sleeper? Y'all stayed on ESPN?
Yeah, still
it's
ESPN.
easier for the people
Training
that
wheels.
play in the league to stay in ESPN right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Makes sense.
might move them over, but that's what they know, so we try to keep it simple. Welcome Carla, another member of the WFFL, joining in with us. So welcome everybody. Good luck to you all with your league, and we'll see how we do. So we know how some of the women did. What about you, Rodney? How do you feel you went this weekend? How many drafts did you have this weekend? Was it 3 or 4?
3.
3.
Well, no, I had 4.
Yeah,
Because we had
you
the
can
church
count
league
Monday.
too.
Yeah, you can count Monday.
Yeah, count Monday. So yeah, 4. I think it went well. I think Saturday was very long.
Yeah.
So no, Sunday was very long. I was there for probably 7 hours. It was a long day. But I will say, all in all, I felt like I did well from the positions I was drafting from. So one league I was
You were drafted from first in one of them.
I mean, but I was drafted from 10 in one of them. So I mean, I'm just saying at the end of the day. And then I had 4 in one league. So I was like, it wasn't like bad. It was good. I got the players I wanted. I got actually.
Hey, Justin! Sorry to interrupt y'all.
No, I was about to interrupt you too.
Yeah, what's up,
we
Justin?
got Justin back in the building.
Justin!
Part of
Yo,
the show. Good to see you. Good to
what's
see Captain
up,
Bracey
Justin,
as
man?
well. Well, yeah, good. Hey, Justin, let's hear how you do. And
Oh,
hey, Brooke is
Hey, Brooke, how you doing?
Brooke
Welcome.
is the newest member of the Women's Fantasy Football League with the number 1 overall pick, by the way.
she got it.
Yeah, ESPN did her solid.
Okay.
That's
And I also want to say, looking at the comments, we don't do keepers in the women's league, so we don't do keepers.
No keepers in that one. Bijan is his recommendation for the number 1. Most people are saying Jamar Chase is the number 1 pick.
Jamar Chase, that's going to be a 60-40 split this year, man, I think.
Yeah, I like Bijan too. Bijan's my number 1 running back pick. His was crazy. We taught this. This was, I don't think our first season, but it was early in the show. Mm-hmm. The consensus number 1 overall pick does not work out very well. So I'm kind of scared for Jamar Chase this year because so many people are going with him. It seems like he's going to be one of those ones that break that streak. But overall, the number 1 pick consensus for some reason just doesn't work out. But
you know what? I'm gonna be surprised, man. Like I was surprised at a few things that happened at the draft.
Yeah.
So one of them was it was the True Warriors League, and Bo Nix went 3 in that league, and it's kind of early for that. So, but you know, a lot of people draft from a book most days now, unless you know fantasy, you just don't even want to go off a book. You just go off of what you really like at most of the time. So Bo Nix at 3 was a little early.
Probably.
And I think, who was it? Lamar went later than I expected in most rounds. It was a little, it was a little weird in that league. So I was like, man, Jalen Hurts with 7 in there.
Yeah, I got Baker at 9 in one of the leagues,
which is
and that's
crazy.
That's the big quarter. So you basically to translate it to most fantasy football leagues, just think of Baker Mayfield being the 9th quarterback off the year when he was like the 2nd quarterback in fantasy football last year.
Yeah,
so I was fortunate. I think I've never been a Baker fan until last year, but I'm all in on the Baker train. So hopefully it works out well for us. I see Justin says he has his draft on the 1st, and he also has the number 1 pick. So I guess that means you're going Bijan from what you said.
Bijan.
Good luck with that. It should do well. I picked
Mahomes went 3rd though.
That's about right.
Mahomes went 3rd.
Or maybe lower, honestly.
I think so.
Yeah.
3rd. I don't know. I mean, for me to get him at 3rd.
For quarterbacks, Burrow was probably my 1st. I probably go Josh Allen or maybe Mahomes 2nd. But I also like, depending on the league structure. Now, this particular league, they don't get the rushing yards, but I would still probably maybe pick Lamar Jackson because Lamar did crazy numbers. If he has another MVP like that,
definitely.
The benefit of the rushing yards, I would probably say Burrow 1st for that league. I'm thinking either Josh Allen, Lamar 2nd, then I think 4th. I'd probably say Mahomes, maybe.
So let me ask you, out of all the drafts, because we was in quite a bit together, what is your most surprising pick? And I'm just talking about through the whole draft. Not it ain't got to be yours. It could be somebody else's team that you thought
the kicker that went. But
you're
talking about our drafts.
Yeah.
Here's what I found really surprising. And welcome, my 3rd man is here, the student.
What's up, man?
So he must be out of class.
He said he in a draft right now.
He in a draft now. I see. Yeah. So good luck with that. You're going to be drafting on the show like you normally do.
On the 3rd. Yeah.
So we'll see. But a consistent thing in these drafts that sort of surprised me is, and it's funny that Shaq comes in for this comment, 1st ballot Hall of Famer, Mike Evans, he typically goes, I think, too low. I think he kind of went a bit higher in some of these drafts than I was expecting because this is literally the first time in years. I don't have Mike Evans on a single team that I drafted. I don't have him anywhere. And usually I scoop Mike Evans because people sleep on him. And I'm coming in with Mike Evans as 1st ballot Hall of Famer Mike Evans as like my 3rd wide receiver. People were taking him this year. I think some of it is because Chris Godwin's out that maybe people elevated. And that's true. Mike Evans on their list. And also just this kind of season that Baker Mayfield had last year. I think put people in the mindset that don't sleep on Mike Evans this year. So I didn't get him anywhere, but I did get Ibuka in several of my leagues. So I'm happy with that.
I would say this. I think the weakest position this year, and it's been like that probably for a long time, probably for the last 5 years. Running backs are top heavy. And then once you get past a certain amount of running backs, you're drafting 2nd or backups who get a lot of play, running backs. So you got to kind of, and I remember it was a pick that matter of fact, we was in the back of the room, and you was like, man, I didn't know he was there that late. It was 2 back-to-back picks that I got, and you was like, wait a minute, he was there that late? And I was like, I think it was ETN. If I'm not mistaken, one of them was ETN.
Very late, but I'm not really surprised by ETN. I semi-surprised by how far he's fallen, but I knew he was going to fall because a lot of the talk is he's not going to be that number 1 guy.
Well, according to what I've been seeing and hearing the last couple of days, is he's the number 1 guy right now. But they said Bixby might get traded or he might get traded, so it just depends on what you do with him. I still draft him because if he gets traded somewhere, obviously
at the place you drafted him, because like you said, you got him like super late in
Oh,
one of
yes.
these draft picks. So I'm all for drafting him. I see Shaq saying he's getting a lot of Ibuka in his draft too. I love the guy, so I picked him up everywhere I could. But a little love to our producer. The highlight of the Third Man's Weekend was meeting the producer, who I think is with us.
Oh, sorry, we're just a little bit distracted. My bad.
Oh, are you watching some basketball news? Because I saw Justin talking about the Lake show. But
no, they ain't. Probably the WNBA.
We don't talk Lakers here.
No, because the WNBA's not on.
Yeah.
Like free TV.
Yeah,
so,
but I did see, if we're going to talk about the Lakers, kind of interesting. The first time since his rookie year, EA Sports NBA 2000 doesn't have LeBron as the highest ranked player on his team. So
yeah, we don't care.
It's taking that over. So there's that.
Yeah, I guess.
He mentions he doesn't know what's going on with the Bulls, and I would say the Bulls don't know what's going on with the Bulls.
They don't know what's going on with themselves, so yeah, it's okay.
That's a non-starter. I only talk Bulls from the 90s because
that's all we do.
But yeah, it was an interesting weekend with some of the changes. Here's another one I saw, and I'm not surprised by it because of what happened last year. Christian McCaffrey failed in a lot of these drafts.
I think a lot of people scared of him.
I think that's the scary thing about Christian CMC. I was talking to somebody. When you think CMC is going to have a great year is when he gets hurt. When people sleep on him is when he have his big years. So maybe it's a sign. But I'm also worried about the Brian Robinson pickup that the 49ers said. Do they think there's a good chance that CMC gets hurt? And so they wanted to have a solid backup.
I don't think it's that. I think it's more of we don't have a trusty backup. Right. And Garendo is always hurt. He fumbles a lot. So even our rookie that we drafted, Jordan James, he's hurt. He just came back to practice. So Brian Robinson, I would say more of a handcuff for CMC this year. But the problem is CMC don't want to come off the field. So he's still going to dominate a lot of the carries anyway.
Right.
You keep him just for the purpose of if CMC get hurt. You handcuff him that way. Because I don't think Brian Robinson going to get 15, 18 carries a game. It's never going to be an even split. It's always going to be McCaffrey, and you might get maybe 5 carries here and there. But McCaffrey's going to dominate. But I will say this. I wasn't in the McCaffrey shares this year because I just don't trust that. I don't. But I will say this. With the receiving cores and what we have in problem-wise, he may be a pickup, that may actually work out for people because our receiving core is to shreds right now because everybody's hurt or either they suspended. So, so at the end of the day, he's a good pickup, but you got to be wary of make sure you get Brian Robinson Jr. just to be on the safe side because if you don't, you're in trouble.
Well, our third man says CMC is going for 3,000 all-purpose yards because he had to choose between CeeDee Lamb and CMC. He chose CMC, so that means
he did that last year and it didn't work for him.
I had that happen to me in a draft. This was probably a good 6 years ago. I had to pick between Saquon Barkley and CMC. I said I'm gonna go Saquon, and he ended up missing like half the season. And CMC blew up that year. So it's always the person you don't pick.
See, I think the one running back that's going to blow up. See, I think obviously Saquon is going to do what he do. Even like a Derrick Henry is going to do what he do. I really think it's going to be Gibbs.
Yeah,
because I think Gibbs is going, from a total yards perspective, Gibbs is probably going to have. He had a lot of total yards. I think his total yards was high last year. So I think he is going to be good.
I have him in a dynasty league, and I managed to get him in. I think the Gridiron was the league I got him in. So I love Jahmyr Gibbs. I love Monty as well with Detroit, but I don't love him as much this year. I think this is
I think that's going to be a real. That's going to be a real 60-40 split. Gibbs.
Hopefully for the Montgomery fans, it will be because I'm thinking it might even be lower than 60-40
on
the Monty side. But I hope not. I say this: what Monty doesn't get you in yards, he will make up for in touchdowns.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Monty gonna definitely get you 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Because he gonna get a lot of goal line carries. But I think the all-purpose yards in between the 20 and the 20, that is what Gibbs is gonna get. He's gonna dominate a bunch of that. He's gonna eat a lot of that up. He's gonna dominate so much of that. But when you get down, but he's able to, even when you get down to the 20, he can still get you that touchdown. But from the catches from the runs, he might get you 20, 30. Like, it depends on the structure of the league, obviously. Yeah. But he can get you high numbers every week if you need that. So
Third Man says that Gibbs was number 1 in the draft.
I'm not mad at that. I had Gibbs last year.
I would say it's between Gibbs and Bijan for the top running back, so I'm not completely surprised by it. But I think that's still a bit of a surprise. I would have thought if it wasn't Bijan, it would have been Jamar Chase, like we said before. But all right.
A lot of people don't think. I think Bijan should be 1, but I like Gibbs too. I think Gibbs.
I love both of them.
Look, either one of them going to do work. It don't really matter. But if you look at the numbers, Gibbs actually did from a total yards perspective, he did better than Bijan last year.
Yeah.
So, you can't really be upset with either one of them. It's like, hey, either it's a preference thing for you. Now, I think Derrick Henry gets overslept all the time, bro, which is insane. Derrick Henry's still going to do what he do anyway, just because they run the ball a lot. So
until proven otherwise, I don't care how old Derrick Henry is.
I was saying that the whole weekend, man. Why you go get Derrick Henry? And I don't have no shares of Derrick Henry. So
I can't even see Henry with her first pick in the Women's Fantasy Football League.
Oh, sure did.
She also has him in our Dynasty League.
I sure do. Yeah, Derrick Henry, until he retire, will always be a good pick.
Yeah.
So I was like, you can't be wrong with Derrick Henry. So, but I think it's Kyren Williams is another running back.
Got Kyren Williams.
I got a lot of shares of Kyren Williams. Oh gosh, Kyren Williams is definitely. I think I got him on all 5 teams.
Really? Impressive.
I want to say yes.
Hey, I got Najee Harris in most of my time.
Oh, let me see. Hold up. I think I got them all 5 teams. Hold up. I
didn't get Najee Harris in all of I actually had 5 drafts this weekend. I missed out on Najee in one of them because someone actually beat me to it, which surprised the crap out of me. Because in all of them, I would get Najee Harris in like the 12th to 14th rounds. I think somebody took him in like the 11th in one of my drafts, and that's the only one I don't have Najee Harris in.
Oh, no, I don't. I got him. I don't have him in Gridiron. That's only because I went 3 quarterbacks. But I still ended up with Jacobs and Brown, Chase Brown. So I'm not overly upset about it. It's cool. That still was a good draft. So, yeah, that's – but I probably got about at least 4 shares of Kyrie Williams. He going to be good. And I always had him in Dynasty League. So he definitely going to kind of do numbers because – they ain't got other running back out there anyway. So I ain't really too concerned with that. Now, let's talk about –
Want to do some NFL news?
Let's talk about NFL news. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Speaking of receivers, running backs, let's talk about a little bit of those. Rashee Rice, he is suspended for 6 games.
6 games.
And I got a few shares of Rashee Rice this weekend, which I kind of expected him to be suspended at some point. So you got to, if you go get him, at least go draft other capable number 1 receivers that can fill in those 6 games for you until you come back. Yeah, and that was my plan, and it worked for me.
Yeah, we mentioned before, if you can, grab a Xavier Worthy. It's probably hard to get him and Rashee Rice, but maybe fill in with a Hollywood Brown or another wide receiver on that team. Or you don't have to get a Chiefs wide receiver.
Just go get anybody that's the number 1.
Somebody that's going to be able to fill in, like you said, for those weeks that he misses. But I'm glad that they announced it now because there was talk that they might not have suspension to mid-season. And for fantasy football, that's the worst. The one thing I don't like to deal with is uncertainty. And a looming suspension when you don't know when it's coming is the worst thing that can happen to you, because if he ended up getting suspended and it comes around your playoff time or when you're trying to make a playoff push, terrible. If I know it's the first 6 games, and who knows, it might even get pushed lower than 6 because that's the initial.
Well, no, they say
Yeah.
he took the 6. He took the 6,
Yeah.
and he was like, whatever. So I'm expecting it to be 6 games unless, like you say, some good behavior comes in at some point, and then they kind of bring it back down, which is possible.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is you know what you're dealing with now, and you know it's at the early part of the season. So by the time bye weeks really start hitting, you already got the man back. So,
and that's all I need. Yeah. I got him in 2-3 leagues, so I'm good. I'll take that. Another one we got the coach. Let's talk about Anthony Richardson for a minute. I don't understand the situation. So they're saying they're not going to trade him, but they don't want to start him. It's a little weird, honestly, in my opinion. Anthony Richardson ain't the greatest quarterback, so I ain't going to get up here and act like he is. But if you invested that much into a player at quarterback, at least, it seemed like you want to see it through, kind of, sort of, and let them work through the kinks a little bit. I think a lot of these young quarterbacks don't get the chance to do that anymore because the first thing if you don't pan out in the first year or two, then they're ready to move on from you, which to me, now back in the day, it didn't happen like that. A lot of quarterbacks sat for years, and then they kind of went and played. So it's like who's ever hot at the moment now is what they want to do. And honestly, I don't think Daniel Jones is that great of a quarterback. So I think at some point, that's why they're not going to trade him. That's why Richardson is going to stay there.
You got to keep him because you know what Daniel Jones is. And we talked about this over the weekend. The only thing that surprises me about it is that they started off with Daniel Jones. I knew at some point they were going to go to him. I don't like the idea of starting off benching your potential future franchise guy. We've seen situations where it can work out, like we mentioned Bryce Young with Andy Dalton, but they gave him a chance. They gave Bryce Young a chance at the beginning of the season, pulled him, and then went back to him. Starting off with Daniel Jones, to me, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It don't.
But we'll see how well it works for them.
I don't know.
I don't think I would pick either one of those quarterbacks unless it was a 2-quarterback league and he's like my third, maybe even fourth quarterback.
Well, I would say if it's a 2 and you got a 3 already, and you're able to get Anthony Richardson down later as a stash, and I did that quite a bit. I stashed a few players. I drafted a lot of players that was either injured or I know they was going to be gone for a couple games, and I stashed them anyway. So just know, I think I can make it through the first 4 or 5 games. And when those players do come back, the rest of my roster is going to be where it needs to be.
There were some popular stashes we saw this weekend. Joe Mixon, of course. Rashee Rice now is a stash. We didn't know it was quite a stash at first. But
Brandon
Ayuk was another popular. Chris Godwin. So all these guys, you know you're getting top-tier players at very mid-level values. So you might even throw in Addison because he has a 3-game suspension.
Yeah, so you want to throw that in too.
Yeah, so.
But ain't nothing wrong with stashing because hey, if you can make it through that, the thing is this: if you can get 2 wins out of those first 4 games, you're on even playing field with everybody else. And really, now you don't want to go 0-4 or 1-3.
No.
That's not what you want to do. But if you can get at least 2 out of the 4 wins, and you got after that week 4, a lot of those guys are starting to come back. Week 5, week 6, somewhere around there. Then you can start picking up those wins because you got to take a season in 4 games because you got first 4, the next 4, and you got that last 4 you need, and that's when like playoff start time. So just try to get if you can get 2 out of each 4, you'll be all right. You might can make the playoffs. Now it depends on how competitive the league is. If you can win all 4, that's great. Do what you do, but at least want to get half of those victories out of the first 4 games. So. And that'll work for you if you do that. But that's why I say getting those stash players. Brandon Ayuk out to week 6.
Yeah.
Then you got Mixon week 4. So it's like these guys will be back when you need them the most.
Yeah. Mixon, I would say hopefully week 4.
I read that, man. That scares me, man.
That's
like,
the one thing that prevented me from. I did get Ayuk in a few leagues. The some of the stories about Joe Mixon kind of scared me that it could prolong a little bit later, but I still think it's a good stash, no matter.
Well, I read today that and it scared me a little bit, but I was like, they was like, they don't know if he's gonna play this.
Yeah,
like,
there's a chance he might not play.
Jeez,
I'm hoping that's a small chance, but
I'm hoping there's a small chance too.
But picked up Nick Chubb, and I saw even Damian Pierce is becoming a trending pick that people are picking up, probably based off that lose.
Yeah, but I don't think he got the gas to really do nothing.
Yeah, I was impressed with him his rookie year, and he hasn't done much since then.
After that was about it.
Another news story that we want to go to. Some big trades happened. 2025 is looking like 2015 because we got Amari Cooper where he should have been. I think I said a million times in drafts talking to people, how is Amari Cooper not on the Raiders? Because I was like, he would instantly step in and be the best wide receiver on our roster. So Amari Cooper returns back to the Raiders. We saw today Adam Thielen is going back to Minnesota.
That's crazy, ain't it?
We saw earlier Keenan Allen back with the Chargers. And I did not know this dude was still in the league. Brandon Cooks is back with New Orleans. So it's
this is crazy.
All these top tier receivers from 10 years ago
are back with the original
team. So
that's crazy.
Out of those four, who are you picking?
I would say Keenan.
You say Keenan?
Yeah, because I think
at least he's back with the quarterback.
He's back with the quarterback that he had success with. Right. I think the Brandon Cooks thing, I don't think he's more likely the third receiver there with Shaheed and the other one there. So, and then you got, now I will say with Vegas, he slots in as the number one automatically. I just think y'all gonna run the ball a whole lot. A whole lot.
I did get Amari Cooper in at least one league.
I seen that,
and
I
I'm
seen
thinking
you pick
about
them up.
picking them in some other ones, but I haven't been. My rosters look good that I like. I don't know, but Amari Cooper. I mean, I don't like I said. We're gonna run the ball. Genty is that guy. I only managed to get Genty
I think it's good for you though.
But I think Amari Cooper's gonna be at least as good as Jacoby Myers was for fantasy football.
What are y'all doing with Jacoby Myers?
He wants to leave.
Why?
I say let him. Why pay him? I heard somewhere he wants like somewhere near $30 million or something.
Excuse me?
I hope that was someone exaggerating because I'm like,
wait, 30 what?
Like, do you know who you are? So I hope that's a false story because if he thinks he's going to get anything near that.
Oh, slow down a little bit. He said $30 million.
That I don't know whether that's what he and his agent
are
actually saying. It's what I heard someone say.
Oh gosh, what is wrong with these receivers, man?
Everybody wants to get paid more.
He never had 1,000 yards. How you want $30 million? He never had 1,000 yards.
I think he did get 1,000 last year, or he was very close.
Well, he did. It was close to it, but he didn't crack 1,000 though.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. How you gonna ask for 1,000 yards? I mean, a $30 million. You never had 1,000 yards.
I wouldn't give him $20 million, to be honest with you. I don't think he's worth it.
I heard rumors that y'all might get Jennings. They were saying we might swap Jennings.
I take
for Jennings. You don't want Jennings. Jennings won't.
It's the two.
You don't want it.
It's the two. Because right now because all Jacoby Myers is a two also.
That's it.
So
he's not a one.
No, he's not a one. That's why he can't get one money. So I don't. When I saw he wanted a trade demand, I was like, dude, you should be glad you're on the team.
But it came so late.
Yeah,
that's what I didn't understand.
I'm wondering, did he get word that Amari Cooper was coming in? Because his trade demand came before.
And like a day or so before. And I'm like, what is coming? This season about to start. Like, what are we talking about? Why are you asking for this? But again, why would you not want Amari Cooper to come in? Amari Cooper can't do nothing but help you because you're going to draw. I mean, I don't think he's drawing double teams like that, but you're going to get a lot of coverage your way just because you're the best receiver on the team. You won't want that Amari Cooper on the other side, at least.
We have some rookies that are coming in, and of course we have Trey Tucker. But that's
okay.
None of those three guys are close to what Amari Cooper if he's there would give
What,
you.
what,
So
what
yeah,
y'all
he
doing with
needs
Kenny
somebody.
Pickett? What y'all doing with Kenny Pickett?
Oh yeah, that's the other trade I was gonna
Kenny
mention later. We
Pickett.
got Kenny Pickett in the building. So
Oh Lord,
yeah,
small hands. What they call him? Small hands. Kenny Pickett.
the whole reason that happened is because Aiden O'Connell got injured in the last preseason game.
Yeah.
They need a backup, so I'm okay with it.
Is he out for the season?
I haven't heard the whole season, but it's going to be a length. I think I saw at least 6 weeks, if not longer.
Ooh.
So he's going to be out for a minute.
So we got another news. It's on the defensive side. I mean, I know a lot of people. I got invited to a defensive league yesterday, and I told them no because I can't do it. I'm at my limit. So
what are you at now?
6.
I'm at 8. I was expecting to be at 10, but my numbers got lower. So I feel like I'm gonna take over this year because I have 2 less leads than anticipated. So if I can do 8, you can do 7.
No, I'm good, and it's an all defensive league.
Yeah,
defense is fun.
Yeah,
I'm
our
good.
producer, recent. Well, I guess it's not recent. It was a few years ago. Won
Here's a minute.
championship in the all defensive league.
Defense is fun.
Yeah.
It takes the pressure off that offensive line mess.
And
I like
there's so
it.
many defensive players. You're always gonna be able to. You can interchange guys a little bit more easier. So
I don't know.
You should have tried it. It's a whole different approach to football.
I think there's still a spot in an all defensive league that's drafting tomorrow.
I got a text today from it. So I know.
Tomorrow's the draft. Sign up.
I know.
Don't be scared.
I'm about to say, do defense. If you can do all that mess with the quarterbacks that y'all do, you can pick some defensive players.
Look, we pick. We have IDP. For those that don't know, that's individual defensive players. We put them in the dynasty league that you're in, so you already got. Just look at your roster.
I'm about to say you can use that. You got half your defense right there.
Yeah, I'm good. I ain't got the time though, to be honest with you. I don't. Look, 6 is enough for me. I tell you that, but no, I'm good.
Right.
I appreciate it though.
Keep working on you. Maybe not for this season. But what else
we
you
got? Cal Hamilton. He signed a 4-year deal for $100 million, which that's good.
Yeah.
He's like a corner / safety sometimes, but he's really, really good. He's really good as far as on the defensive end. He's kind of tall. I think he went to Notre Dame. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I can't remember for certain.
I think he's a Notre Dame guy.
Producer, look that up.
But he got paid, so congratulations to him for getting paid. And we do got some news on somebody I think you talk about. Najee Harris is back in practice.
Back in the building.
That is your guy.
I said I got him in almost every draft. Somebody scooped me on one of them, but
I ain't gonna lie.
Y'all like to clown Najee Harris because he's slow. And his yards per carry might be like 2.3 sometimes, but no matter how long it takes, 1,000 yards every season, and you get like I said, I got Najee Harris in like the 12th through the 14th rounds of all my drafts, and he's going to get work. Maybe not. This might be the first time. I'll admit he might not get 1,000 because Amari and Hampton's there, but they're gonna get. They're going to both get some work. You're going to get some fantasy numbers from both of these guys, as long as his eye checks out, because he blew his eye out with some fireworks.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. I was going to snip you on one of them, though.
Oh, word.
He was on the board late, and I was like, should I go grab him? But I was like, I ain't going to do my guy like that, because I know you was going to get him.
Clown the crap out of you. like, hold on, wait.
Oh, you were standing right beside me.
And
I was looking at it. I was like, do I really want to get him? And I kept strolling on our computer. I was like, yeah, Najee up there too, man. I think I'm going to go. In my head, I'm thinking I'm going to go get Najee. But you was drafting in front of me. It was your goal. And I was like, yeah, he probably going to go Najee now. But if you would have missed on that, if you would have skipped him on that one, I was going to get Najee.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know.
For me, I'm just setting a projection. If I can get between 700 and 800 yards from him, and about 5 to 8 touchdowns on the season, I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, You may get that in a
Yeah,
Harbaugh system because
yeah,
they do
exactly.
run the ball a lot. So yes, you may get that.
And so
You do.
if I get that with the 14th pick of a draft, that's value.
I'm not mad at that. You may get that.
Like I said also last week on the show when we were discussing draft strategies, Aaron Rodgers for me as like the 28th or 30th quarterback off the board, undrafted
Oh
in
yes.
several leagues. If he can give you anything close to what he historically has done and not be injured, that's my biggest fear with him. I love value for my draft. So if it's a guy I believe in and I can get him really late, it doesn't
Hmm.
cost you anything. Because look, let's be honest. After around the fifth, sixth round, you're throwing darts anyway. You're just trying to come with
Well,
your preferences on what you want and what you like. Cause
that's true. That's true
yeah,
because after I would even say even later, I would say eighth round
yeah,
because it's still good value between that first and that eighth round.
yeah,
But once you get down to the eighth and the ninth and the 10th, that's when you really it ain't no
yeah.
best player available. It's more about who I like more than this player
And
at
who
this
and who
position.
fits in the spots based on how you draft previously.
Yes.
Right.
So that's what you really looking at the most. You're not really looking at, okay, on the sheet, he's the best player available, but he may be the best player available on the sheet, but not in your eyes.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you may value another player over him. Just like me, I value Chuba Herbert over a lot of running backs this year.
Yeah.
And
I think
I
he
don't,
gets slept on a little bit too
a whole
much.
lot.
Yeah.
And even another one is Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard got slept on a lot this
I
year.
picked
He
him up
was
in a
another
few.
one. I got him a lot.
Yeah. I know you did.
I got him a lot. Yeah. I'm a
Good,
Tony
good.
Pollard guy, but
Yeah.
because you got at this point you got to look at situations.
Yeah.
So okay, when you say Tony Pollard, right? Their backup running back can't stay healthy to save his life.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna get 25 carries a game just because, or 25 touches a game, just because he can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
Look at Chuba Herbert. He has no backup running back that's can
Can stay
take
out.
his job.
Because Brooks is
So
out.
Brooks is out for the year.
Yeah.
So those are two running backs that you know gonna get the lion's share of the carries no matter what, and they're gonna be the starter every game. So that's what you gotta look for. It can be like you could have a guy in front of you, but he may be in a timeshare. Another one that people are not thinking about, Eckler may surprise people this year and may get more work than you expect just because of the Brian Robinson trade. So at the end of the day, that's another one, and that's for anybody that got another draft out there. Eckler, Pollard, Chuba Herbert, those guys are probably going eighth, ninth, 10th round.
Another two I throw in. One you didn't draft, but I did saw you picked up recently. I'm going to Tennessee because people aren't expecting a lot out of Cam Ward with his rookie year. But Calvin Ridley is the number one wide receiver there, and if you can get Calvin Ridley pretty late in drafts, he's going to be doing work. And it's tight end. If you like, I do sometimes, and I just skip tight end altogether, and you come in there.
I picked him up.
I saw you pick up Chig. I was like,
I picked him up today. I was
yeah,
like, wait a minute. I say he's sitting out there. I said, okay, bad.
So if you need some late picks, those are some guys you want to go for.
I mean, it's really. I tell you this: those first few rounds, anybody can draft that stuff. Man.
Yeah. You're going.
What really makes you a great fan? I ain't even gonna say great, but a good fantasy football player is what you do in the mid rounds from 8, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you got an 18 round, 20 round draft, really your draft starts around about round 7, round 8.
Exactly.
Because you really gotta, and that's when, if you ever notice, that's when a draft room gets really quiet.
Right?
Because
that's when the hard decisions come in, right?
People they don't want to talk to nobody because that's weird. Because Sunday, right, we was in there and it was quiet. You could hear a pin drop in there. It was so quiet in there, and it was like, and we talking like the first 3 rounds, it was a little people was talking,
a little bit of noise,
a little bit of noise. But when round 6 came, oh my gosh, everybody was in a corner. I mean, they was sticking their head in the computer, like trying to figure out where they wanted to go. And it was like, man, like, okay, now it's time to go. It's go time. And you got to find these value picks because you got to beat other people to these value picks. Because if you don't, you're screwed at this point.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that you need to be able to do for your drafts is know how to pivot. Because, like you said, those early rounds, everybody is pretty much going for those top tier players. But you saw when I showed the pictures earlier, and you see it every year. I have my notebook out there, and I have a notebook with pages of players that I've studied and I researched. Because
you know what's funny about that picture?
Yeah,
that picture is the same picture every year.
Yeah, it's pretty much. He
has different notebooks every year.
No. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying
the
is
notebook changes every year, but it's the same thing of me.
It's the same picture. When I say the same picture, is I'm sitting there. She always gets a shot of me sitting in front of the computer, and my head is always turned to the back.
Right,
and you standing right beside me. It's the same shot for the last 4 years since we had.
But then y'all need to change it up then, so I can get a different shot.
Oh no, that's what we do. I know that's what we do. The room don't change now. We can't change the room around.
Yes, you can. You can change it.
No, I love drafting from that spot. I have to sit in the back first of all because I got to be alone. Leave me alone. Let me be in the back.
You gotta try to hide yourself in that dark corner. Like people trying to steal your picks.
I don't know, man. Hey, look, they be like, man, why don't you sit up front? I say, sit up front for what?
Oh no.
I say, ain't gonna do that. No, you're not gonna catch me sitting up front. No, I'm gonna sit back in the back because I need a plug first of all. Because I have my laptop, I ain't working off no book. So I found a plug, and most of the plugs sitting in the back of the room. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna sit. But I noticed that picture every time. I'm standing there, I'm sitting down, and you standing right beside me, and you in a notebook like this, and you scratching down stuff, and my head is in the computer like this. Always. And I'm like, yep, that's the same picture.
Because we basically doing the same thing. We're making those pivots. Because like I said, when you get past those rounds, everybody has to make those hard decisions. The guy you want is probably gone because somebody picked him before. So you gotta have your strategy. Even if you're with a no plan, you gotta plan on what you're gonna.
I tried so hard. I promise you. I was determined not to have a plan because when I had detailed plans in the past, that mess didn't work. So I said this year I'm not gonna have a plan. But unfortunately, you can't completely go without a plan. I figured out the only way that works is if you know absolutely nothing about the game and you do not know the players. That's the only way a no plan works. That's it. So, for instance, with hockey, I literally had a no plan because I didn't know hockey like that, and it worked. So
I had to plug my computer up because
I was like, okay, where he going?
Well,
but a no plan can only work if you have no knowledge of the game, none. And unfortunately, I have years of knowledge of the game and players, and listening to y'all for years and years, I picked up stuff.
And you're welcome.
I appreciate it. Because think about it, Sydney, right? And Shaq, we're gonna go over your roster that you just drafted too. But think about it, right? Have you ever seen, like, I don't think me and Jay actually go in there with a plan anymore. Like, I know I don't. Like, the last 2-3 years, I probably did maybe one mock draft.
First 2 rounds. After the first 2 rounds, I'm done.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Obviously, it depends on where you're picking at. And you say you got the number 1 pick, and you say, obviously, I'm going to go get the best quarterback available, which is whatever, Mahomes or whoever, right? But once that happens, you don't know what you're going to get at the back end or when that comes back around, because then at that point, you're just drafting off of what you preferably want at that point. Because at the end of the day, I can tell you the last 3 years, I have not went into a draft with a real plan on, okay, I got to get this guy. Now I got guys that I like, obviously. Yeah. So other than that, I don't really go in and say I got to have these certain amount of guys on my roster, because half the time you're not going to get them anyway. Because if you're in a league that people like, for instance, the barbershop league, we've been playing together so long with all these people, they know where you're going to go no matter where. Everybody drafts similar so much.
Except for frequent guest of the show, Tron. He threw a little surprise at people this year.
Yeah, Tron was wild. Tron actually drafted some quarterbacks this year. Tron
he did a good
don't
job,
normally do. He did. He did. I will give him
He
that.
put together
But
a good team.
Tron actually won his championship
Exactly.
drafting that way. So maybe he thought about it and kind of wanted to kind of do it that way. But at the end of the day, I don't know, man. I just feel like even you to a certain point, I haven't I remember the early days when we used to draft. It was, man, we had the books and we used to come in there. Because I remember we had the draft when I stayed out Deep Creek. We had the draft there.
Yeah.
We had the books there and we was marking off names. I ain't about to buy no book no more. Give me a computer and I'm going to just scroll through the names and go from there.
Some people did have their books, though. I did see a few people with the
No,
magazines
some folks still
trying to
had
think through
books.
stuff.
Yeah, but those, I can tell you who had them. A lot of those guys, I can tell you the ones that had them. Byron had I think he had like a sheet with names on it, and he was just going through the sheet. I don't even think he had like a real book. I think he wrote down some names that he was trying to get, and then he went from there. But maybe a few.
But
and
I'm with you, but all the names you need are on the internet, so you can find it and make your own list. I see my mom put it that she had several names, and they were all taken. People are gonna take your players, but I will say about your list, it was only 2 pages. Look, like I said, I'll show you my notebook next time we're in the same place. My notebook, I had 2 pages of just quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? I got pages. I'm talking about flip through 5 pages of players, at least 5, 6. So you got to go deep.
Yeah, you have to go for.
Someone's going to take your players.
You got to go for not the pretty shiny pieces. You got to go for the kind of rough around the edges. They don't look good on the outside, but they might be something good on the inside parts.
Like that.
Well, a lot of those players also are. What people don't realize is a lot of second receivers on teams get a lot of run, more than you expect. So even because once you get past the Jeffersons of the world, the Chase of the world, those guys, and you get down really to those secondary receivers that's number ones on the team, Michael Pittman Jr. is a perfect example of this. He doesn't get as much love from people, obviously because of the quarterback situation, but he's a number 1 receiver on a team that he can get you points.
Is he? You sure Josh Downs isn't the number 1?
He's the number 1.
Okay.
They already, he was number 1. I'm just saying.
2 years ago, I would have agreed that Michael Pittman is the one.
I'm just saying I'm using it as
but
I'm using it as an example. Yes, he's a type where you can, even Courtney Sutherland to a certain point, it's a number one.
People sleep on, yes.
And he gets drafted later than he should.
Yeah.
And he's in a system where he's gonna thrive, and he's the number 1 guy, and then he got to catch the ball sometimes. But that's a different story. But again, somebody like him is definitely who you should think about drafting. And you ain't gotta get them early. Those guys will be there for you, whether you like it or not. Like, as long as you get 1 star receiver, you can fill in with another one that's the one on the team. Period.
One thing we always say is there's so many wide receivers. Think about it. There's maybe 1 or 2 running backs that are going to get numbers on a team, and really for most of them it's 1, and a few you might have a second guy. Yeah. But you got at least 3 wide receivers they got to put out there on a regular basis. So if you get that star wide receiver with an early pick, you can skip a few rounds and fill in, and then come back and get a lot of 2s, like a George Pickens, a number 2 wide receiver on his team.
Perfect example. He's another one.
Jameson Williams, the number 2 wide receiver. He's going to put in some work this year. You know what I'm saying? So Addison, even though he's suspended for 3 games.
Addison's another one. Godwin, a healthy Godwin is a perfect example of a number 2 who can give you 100. I ain't going to say 100 quite, but 80 to 100 receptions per year, and still give you that 1,000, a little bit of 1,000 yards over, and still be a perfect number 2 for your roster when you got that number 1. Even certain running backs to a certain point will be good. So, but I think my biggest takeaway, like Najee,
I love it.
I think my biggest takeaway from this year with some of this stuff is I think a lot of the young quarterbacks went earlier than I expected.
Yeah.
So, like Bo Nix being what he did last year to now, and now he's top 5 in some of the drafts we've been in. I mean, they say a lot with the way people draft, though.
do you worry about a second year slump for some of these guys, like a Jaden Daniels or a Bo Nix? Because we saw C.J. Stroud light it up year one, not so much year two.
I don't see. I think what they do with Jaden Daniels is so perfect, because they build off what he do, like his strengths. Like whatever they implement as far as the plays, they always implement it from a basis of what he did previously in other like schools or whatever, and like plays that work for him. And I don't think it would be a sophomore slump. I think he's gonna do what he did last year. Now you might have a game or two where he might not look like Jake Daniels. That's all quarterbacks. That happens. But I think he'd be all right with Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix is going down that Breeze territory a little bit. And not saying he's Breeze, but
that's a high grade right there.
No, but what I'm saying is he has the coach. Think about it. The coaches, he has the same coach, the same system, and the way. I didn't know he threw the ball 500 times last year.
He was slinging it, and that surprised the heck out of me.
So if you think about it, throwing the ball, like if you think about a draft, you go into a draft and you want a quarterback, a lot of people look at completions. Look at attempts.
Yeah.
Like attempts matter a lot. Now, obviously you get points for completions, but go look at attempts compared to these quarterbacks. I remember one year Dak threw the ball 600 times, man.
Mm-hmm.
That means he's throwing the ball at least 35 to 40 times a game on a regular basis. Right. And just think about all of the yards or receptions you can get from those 35 to 40 targets that he's throwing and the receivers that he has. So that means that's a throwing offense.
Yeah. And to not counter, but the corollary for that is for the wide receivers, don't just look at catches, look at targets. If you see how many targets they got, you can get a sense of who's going to, like, hey, if they're consistently getting 5, 10 targets, those are going to pay off from time to time.
I like it, even from a game base, like from like Puka, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Puka gets on a regular basis. And when I say Rasheed Rice is probably the one that a lot of people overlook. Rasheed Rice will get you 8 to 10.
Oh, he's
not targets.
He's a PPR monster.
But receptions. He will get you 8 to 10 receptions per game.
Yeah.
We ain't even talk about targets because targets is probably about 15 to 16 targets a game. Yeah. But out of those 16, he's giving you about at least 8 to 10 receptions. If you do a point scale of 1 point per reception, that's 10 points there, 8 to 10 points just alone in receptions. We ain't even talking about yards and touchdowns. Yeah. So, I mean, you got to look at it from that point of view when you are drafting. So, yeah, just think about it that way. I want to go with Shaq's team.
Yeah, I was about to say it's a school night, so don't leave my man waiting too long.
No, I got you. So he went Baker Mayfield, Jacobs, CeeDee Lamb, JSN, Mark Andrews, Nick Chubb. You went and got the coach defense. Will Lux. And then on his bench, he got Jalen Warren, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, Brian Robinson Jr., and then he got Cam Ward and Brandon Ayuk. He wants us to grade his roster.
What's the format? Do you know? Is this a one quarterback, two quarterback?
Shaq, what's the format, Shaq? Well, it's a one quarterback. It's a one quarterback. Yeah. So it's one quarterback, one quarterback, one running back, 2 receivers, a tight end, a flex, a defense, a kicker. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bench players, 1 hour.
What you think?
Love his receiving core. CeeDee Lamb, JSN. If you can get those 2, that's great.
Yeah, that's a nice 1-2 combination.
Love that. Jacobs. Love Jacobs. Jacobs is low key gonna get you about 10 touchdowns.
Used to be the Raiders running back. I'm not mad about it anymore because we've got Genty. I'm actually getting Genty in one league. I'm actually proud about that.
I understand Baker. That's his guy.
Yeah.
So but
Baker's a good pick.
Yeah, Baker's a good pick though. Yeah. Obviously the coach defense. I think that's more of a late round pick type of thing where you're just picking a defense.
Can I share something with the people?
Sure.
And I got to give Byron credit for this. Cardinals, week 1 against the Saints.
Oh.
So now you only want them for week 1.
That's it.
After that, dump their tails right where they belong. But I might follow the Saints this whole season because they did announce Spencer Rattler. It's the starting quarterback. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna follow them because one thing you can do about defense, you don't have to have a good one. You need a good one for each week. And
that's it.
Sometimes
and you change defenses every week.
Find the worst team in the league and just follow the defense from week to week, and you can fill in.
Now, I do like the Mark Andrews pickup. I've got a couple of shares of Mark Andrews this year. I think he can redeem himself from I still think he's touchdown dependent a little bit. But he had 10 touchdowns last year. So
I take it.
If you're thinking about touchdowns type of thing, then yes, you go Mark Andrews. And I'm pretty sure he got him later on in the draft because a lot of
you can get Mark Andrews a lot later than you could have several years ago because there's so many young tight ends that came in and sort of dethroned. Even Travis Kelce fell so far this year because of the results you got. So you got the young guys like the Brock Bowers and the Sam Laportas and the Trey McBrides. They're the new kings of the castle for his tight ends. And after you get past those top guys, to be honest, tight end is kind of interchangeable as well. So
that's what I did.
Andrews was a good pick.
That's a good pick. Obviously, you got Will Lutz. That's a good kicker. But again, he was with the Saints. He was a great kicker with the Saints. He's with same coach, Sean Payton, in Denver. So it makes sense. Jaylen Warren, I like the pick a little bit, but I'm not a Jaylen Warren fan per se.
Not Jaylen Warren.
I'm not a fan. I think that was probably more of what was left for him.
One, he gets hurt, and two, Caleb Johnson's going to eat some of those.
A lot of that.
Yeah.
He's going to eat a lot of that.
I don't know what the split's going to be, but it's going to be a split because Jaylen Warren isn't a 3-down kind of running back that you can keep feeding because he doesn't have the frame for it.
Now, I do like getting Amari Cooper. You're getting a number one for the bench, and you're getting Godwin also. So those are two guys, obviously, you can get. And I like the stash of Brandon Ayuk. Yeah. I like he got him for a stash. Cam Ward, probably for a backup quarterback, and Brian Robinson Jr., I would consider a stash / maybe bye-week running back if you need one. If it all depends on what they do with McCaffrey as far as how many reps he get as far as it carries a game. But if McCaffrey ever goes down, Brian Robinson is probably a great get. So all in all, I think you did well starting. Love your receivers.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb.
The strongest.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, probably going to change. And he got Nick Chubb. So, Nick Chubb. So, your third running back will be Nick Chubb. So, your second running back will be Nick Chubb. That ain't bad.
Who's the first running back? I don't have the list.
Jacobs.
Yeah, that's right. Jacobs.
So, Jacobs and Nick Chubb, basically. And then CeeDee Lamb and JSN as your receivers. Mark Andrews as your tight end. And Colts defense, Will Lutz. That's your starter with Baker. So that's not a bad roster. You can win with this roster, honestly. So I like it.
Yeah. Should be, I'm assuming maybe 12-man team league. That should at least be a playoff team.
Oh, yeah, it's a playoff team, definitely.
Yeah.
As long as everybody healthy, he should be good. Yeah. It's probably a 12. Yeah. I don't know. He didn't really send me all that, but it's probably a 12, though. And I don't know what league this is either. I know it's an ESPN league. I do know that.
Yeah.
Is it fraternity league? Oh, y'all not doing that?
Well, one, he's in a different fraternity, and two, we're not doing it this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm in a better fraternity since I know he's watching.
Ain't got nothing to do with that. That's y'all thing. Ain't got nothing to do with that. So
I kid. Well, not really, but
not really. Now, Trevor Lawrence went. I see you got Jared Goff pretty late in the gridiron.
Yeah.
What is the reason Jared Goff gets overlooked?
He's not sexy. You know what I'm saying? He's just one of those guys that you don't get excited about having Jared Goff. He was what was in the top? I know he was in the top 5 of quarterbacks last year. I can't remember exactly what his.
He was. He was top 4. He was
top
number 4. I
So
think. Yeah.
he's one of those guys who produces, but you don't get it. You can get excited about a Lamar Jackson. You can get excited about a Patrick Mahomes or a Josh Allen. Jared Goff is like, is he good or is he in a good system? And with the coach Ben Johnson being gone, the offensive coordinator now, the coach at the Bears, maybe people don't know whether that system is going to work as well. I have no fears about it at all. I think the system is there. The Sun God is there. Jameson Williams is there. That's just going to be Sam Laporta's there. Jahmyr Gibbs is there. It's like he has so many guys he can throw the ball to. I have no fear about the system.
I just think it's weird that you got him at 10, though.
Yeah.
Like, all of the people that went, and now, obviously, certain ones are going to go in front of him. Yeah. Yes. But some of those people shouldn't have went in front of him.
Like I said, I only planned like the first 2 rounds of drafts, and in all of those leagues, I planned Jared Goff to be there because people will sleep. He's one of those guys, like I said, you don't get excited about it. You don't go in, I'm going to get Jared Goff, and you're excited. So, at the back end of those big quarterbacks, I said, okay, I know I had Jared Goff, if nothing else. And then, fill in with somebody else. The surprise was when I got Baker and at the back end. I didn't understand that at all, but I love it for me.
But that's what I don't understand. Like, if you watch, like, when I do, like, if I do like a draft, I look at the past numbers from the draft, because I'm big on the past numbers from the previous year, because you can always tell what a guy's going to do, or kind of similar what he may do.
Production is not a guarantee of future production.
It's not.
Technically, but it's the best guide that you have. So
yeah, it's a guide to where you think they may do.
It shows potential, right?
Yes. So like for a Baker Mayfield, right? You can go back 2 years ago. Same numbers, they're identical. 42
since he's
30
been in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, 35 to 41 touchdowns a year. The numbers are very similar, so you know what you're getting. And Baker finished top 5 both years. For you to get Baker at that point, now I ain't gonna lie to you, I was thinking about going Baker
at what?
Oh no, in the gridiron. The gridiron at 4.
Okay, at 4. Okay. Never mind. Okay, that was the other league that you had at 1.
I thought about going Baker at 4, but I was like, can't leave him on the board, so I'm gonna go get him anyway. But I actually thought about going to get Baker, and I was like, maybe But again, I feel like somebody behind me, Baker should have been at least 5, 6, 7.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I think Dak went a little bit later than I was expecting. And
Dak did go a little bit later
because he has CeeDee Lamb, one of the best wide receivers.
He got Pickens, bro. Like, what are we talking about?
But I'm just saying, if the reason I was big-ish on JJ McCarthy is because he has JJ. I mean, he is JJ McCarthy, but he has the other JJ, Justin Jefferson.
Other JJ. Yes.
So I'm like, look, if I don't trust a quarterback completely, I will trust their number 1 wide receiver. So a CeeDee Lamb or a Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase doesn't count because Joe Burrow's already a top-tier quarterback. But if there's a guy that you're not 100% sure about as the quarterback, if I like the wide receiver, that gives me enough confidence that I know they're going to do something. There's a threshold I know they won't fall below.
So let me ask you, what's your expectation for J.J. McCarthy this year? Like, being that we know what Sam Darnold did with him last year, with J.J., with Jefferson, do you expect what Darnold did, or you kind of temper it down a little bit?
What has Sam Darnold done anywhere else? Nothing.
That's
right?
great. That's a great question.
So for me, I think that's the bar. And that's why I like J.J. McCarthy, because it can't. I mean, I don't know. We don't know what J.J. McCarthy's going to be in the NFL. We've only seen him in college because he missed his entire rookie year. But for me, you can't be worse than Sam Darnold. At least not by much, right? So take what Sam Darnold did and say plus or minus maybe 500 yards. And I think that's where you set that at, because Sam Darnold's an awful, awful quarterback. and I'm surprised that people liked him as much this year.
I got him.
Yeah, I got him. So I'm like,
I picked him up. So yeah.
I mean, JSN is good. I don't know if JSN is Justin Jefferson good.
Now I would say this: it depends on what Cooper Kupp does.
Yeah,
That's how you gauge what JSN is going to do. Now JSN was good when he had another good receiver
right
on the other side. Now that's the biggest question mark. Can JSN, because really him and Cooper Kupp are the same receiver as far as the routes they run
You're right.
and what type of receiver they are. They're both the same receiver. And I just really don't know if I hope JSN do good because I picked him up. Now
Right.
I think JSN just from a target, he gonna get a bunch of targets anyway.
Well,
But
think how
what he
much Geno
does with him is
Smith
the
threw
question.
last year. I don't think Sam Darnold's going to throw less than that. Well,
Yeah,
attempt to throw less than that. I don't know how much of it gets completed. But
Now, I hate to ask you this, but do you think Donald gets benched this year?
you know,
Because a lot of people are hyping up
Jalen Milroe, right?
Jalen Milroe.
Because
Yes.
I was gonna say that. I was like, I would say before season, there's no chance he gets benched. I was not a big Jalen Milroe guy coming out of college. I've
Okay.
seen him play some of the preseason, and I gotta say I'm impressed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm just like,
how long? Because how long is the leash?
I didn't expect to be impressed by Jalen Milroe like at all. I was like, he's
Okay.
gonna be a what's the guy's name in New Orleans? I can't think of right now.
Spencer Rattler.
No.
Tyler. Talking about Tyler Shutt.
No, not him either. The guy who's the running back gadget guy.
Oh, Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill. Thank you.
Yes.
I was like, okay, Jalen Milroe at best is a Taysom Hill. You throw him in.
I was surprised that he was not, and that's why I asked the
Yeah,
question.
so
because
to
your
answer,
I'm just asking.
I don't know how much of a leash or how much. I don't know how much Sam Darnold has to underperform because if they're losing, I put Jalen Milroe in and let him do his thing.
The reason I asked that because the
Yeah.
contract is. A lot of people look at the contract and they say 3 years, $100 million, right? Really, it's not 3 years, $100 million. It's really 1 year. It's a 1 year contract with 2 years added on that
Yeah.
they can pick up, so they can get out of the
They can get
contract
out of it
after
easily.
1 year. So that's why.
And after you saw what he did at the end of last year, you
Yes,
want to get out of that as quickly as you could.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's guaranteed whatever
Yeah.
his money is this year. He's gonna make a chunk of money this year, yes. But if he was not to perform well,
I think I say this: if they have a losing record by week, I don't think they try to go to him. But around week 8, if they see the writings on the wall, they've only won like 3 games. I think they think about it. Well, are you considering?
I'm just asking because
Uh-oh.
I'm just because when the season starts, that's when everything get real.
Yeah. I
so
say this: it's going to be interesting to watch because I could see a quarterback controversy developing much quicker than expected if he goes back to being the Sam Darnold he's been everywhere else.
Wow.
Now the question is JSN good enough to cover how bad Sam Darnold has been? Because if it goes well like it started off with Minnesota, then there's no problem.
Well, you got to think about it this way, right? When you say cover the quarterback, and you know my rule, it's a receiver that makes the quarterback good, and it's the quarterback that makes the receiver good.
Right.
Which one is JSN? Is JSN the one that covers to make the quarterback look good, or can Sam Darnold? Because we all know Jefferson made Sam Darnold look like he was.
I say it's too early to tell because this is going to be the first year we've seen JSN without Tyler Lockett or DK there. It's the JSN show. So I'm looking forward to finding out.
Ooh, that's a good one there. I like that one. I don't know.
And Cooper Kupp is there, so that helps. But it's an old Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, but what version of Cooper Kupp are you getting?
Yeah,
that's the question. Are you getting the Cooper Cup from the 1900 yards,
No.
or are you getting the Cooper Cup that's been hurt?
Look, that Cooper Cup was an anomaly. It
Yeah,
existed
he's
that
long
one
gone.
year. He doesn't have a season that comes close to that.
So that's what I'm saying. But we'll see. I just think it's interesting that they are hyping up Jalen Milroe a little
stay
bit.
tuned on that because that one could get interesting. You could
Could
see
be.
Jalen Milroe as a popular picker. I was actually trying to get him in what I know, right? I was actually trying to get him in one of the leagues, one of our dynasty leagues, because you're in a dynasty league with me. A lot of the same guys are in this 252 dynasty league, right?
Okay.
And I only have one active quarterback in that league. It's a super flex league, which for those that don't, you start one quarterback, but you have the option of starting a second one. And in that one, I have C.J. Stroud as my starting quarterback. The only two other quarterbacks on my team are Kirk Cousins, who I'm hoping can get traded somewhere.
Oh Lord, yeah.
And then I picked up Jameis Winston just because all of the other rookie quarterbacks were taken. I was really expecting to get Jackson Dart, but somebody sniped me on that right before was my pick. And then I didn't have picks from rounds 2 through 4. And so I just
another one.
All the other quarterbacks. I wanted Milroe, but he was gone.
Another one that you might want to just keep an eye on. Not saying it's a quarterback controversy, but this quarterback get hurt a lot. We talking about Dak.
Yeah,
so
he does.
Joe Milton is another one that you may want to just keep a close eye on throughout the season because if Dak go down, because we know it's Dak. Dak finds a way to get hurt sometimes. Jalen Milroe is gonna. He needs to work on his that 15-yard screen and post. He ain't good at that. But if you ask the man to throw down the ball, throw the ball 60 yards, that's your guy.
That's it. It's all for the long ball.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I just say I got one more draft.
I got one tomorrow, and I'm done. Yours is next week. You're doing it on the show. It's the last show before the season starts, so you know what's coming up, everybody. Bold predictions.
Hey, Shaq, we're gonna need you on the show next week.
We need the third man for bold predictions. So
get your life together.
Hey, if you got to do it right out of class, we need you.
Just pop on in, please.
Pop on in. Even if you don't come in at the start, we have a 15-minute grace window. We can bring you in. So.
We bring you in. Don't worry about it. We got you because I'm gonna be partly distracted trying to draft at the same time. So it's cool. I don't know why Tron do this to me every year.
Tron is like make you fail.
But you know what? The last 2 years I drafted online and I did well.
Done well. Actually, you should invite him. put it on him. Like, look.
You know what? You're right about that. He probably say no for that day. Yeah, because he got a draft.
Yeah.
So, but again, man, I was a little discombobulated today because I had some things to do with my daughter at school because school around the corner, and they had their meet and greet today. So
yeah. I was gonna conclude the show, not specifically your daughter, but I was gonna say we get close to that back to school time. So that's another thing I know with Shaq and all the teachers out there. They got to get back. I had our champion in the Dynasty League. I actually met up with yesterday, finally getting him his championship belt. It was there for he's an administrator, but it was their first day back yesterday. So to all the teachers out there and all the parents that are getting rid of your kids from the summer. You know what I'm saying? This is the last week of freedom. So go ahead.
It's crazy because she going to middle school, right? And
already? Is it that time? Sick? Yeah.
She 11, man. She going to middle school. She looks so small.
Yeah.
She's so small compared to the kids. I'm like, girl, but it's a big school and she'll be all right. So good thing is, she got it. She ain't gonna be too scared. She ain't scared of nobody, so she'll get in there and do what she gotta do. So
she got the personality. One question before we go. Did she encourage you to get a kicker? Because I noticed she was pushing for you to get a kicker, and you got a kicker much earlier than I would normally have seen you do it. Was that a daddy-daughter pick?
No, she is. My daughter is crazy, man. Something's wrong with her. So we were drafting Monday,
Yeah.
and she's on the hip, sitting on the couch with me on the hip. Daddy, draft a kicker, Daddy. I'm not taking a kicker.
For several rounds.
I say, no, I'm not taking a kicker. She say, Daddy, just take a kicker. I say, come on here, leave me alone. Daddy, why don't you just go take a kicker? I said, I'm going to make you go upstairs. So she was like, and I just took one because I wanted little, because I little got a
yeah,
little
you got
kick.
a good one, but I was like,
Yeah.
he actually picked the kicker.
And then him is sitting up there like, do it, take a kicker. I'm like, man, I ain't taking no kicker, man. I said, well, might as well get my kick out of the way. Oh, well. So, yeah. But, yeah, she is, it's hard to believe, man. She's 11. My son is actually going to school part-time this year.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
he's about to be 3. So, man, these kids are growing up quick, man. So,
it don't take long.
It don't. I told her, you can come get my daughter, though. She, talking about, yeah, I won't go 2 days without her. Have you met my child? No, but nah.
She said she's good for a week without y'all, so
no, she ain't. Don't believe that. Not one bit.
I say the one drawback is I don't know if we can afford her because y'all live the good life.
That little girl crazy, man. That little girl, man, that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
That little girl, I'm trying to tell you, she just know she book bags $70, $80, bro.
Yeah.
Really? What are we doing over here, man? Hey, but she's a good kid though,
Yes,
so
indeed. Yes, indeed.
try to keep it right. So, but yeah, I appreciate y'all. We'll be back next week, man.
Doing it again.
Like and subscribe, please. And hey, tell your friends. We back every week. So
we're here.
Check us out.
Look, it's football season because we got Justin back. Because once Justin,
I ain't seen Justin in a long time.
Yeah, but once he comes in, he's in. So it's good to have everybody for the Women's Fantasy Football League. Great job with your draft. Wishing y'all the best, and for everyone else that has the draft, hey, hit us up on our social media. Hit us up on the YouTube page, and hey, like you said, come back every Wednesday 9:00. Hit subscribe, tell your friends, ask your questions. We'll be glad to answer them as the best we can. And until then, peace out.
Oh, also we on fan base.
Oh yeah,
check us out on fan base, please. You see above our heads, check us out on fan base. We up there.
We're on Instagram.
Yes,
you'll find us, Facebook, all that. But we ain't hard to find. Ask 2 questions, we'll be there for you.
Definitely.
All right.
All right.
Later, everybody.